A word of caution about sales language. I think that's one of the reasons that you can take an expert copywriter and he'll make something convert at low ticket. We're talking low ticket throwaway sales. You're taking an expert copywriter that sells $37 products or a $97 package, but they cannot make a $1,000 package convert. I believe the reason for that is that we can hype people into buying a $37 product. What are they out? 37 bucks? We can hype people into buying a $97 package. What are they out? 97 bucks? No big deal. You cannot hype people into buying a $1,000 package. They have to trust you. In my experience, if we use less persuasive language, if we use less scientific sales language, we are building trust. I find that conversion rates can actually be higher. The reason is that people are investing $1,000 because they trust you and they want something and they trust you. We're not going after hype here. We have to be careful when we're building our campaign that we don't just say, okay, I've learned some corny sales language that gets them to sign on the dotted line in the offline world. I tried to put this into my 14-day campaign and, well, it's not working. If you read through those emails, you're going to find some closing language. You're going to find some persuasive language in my email campaign. If you know what that language is, it's going to jump right off the page at you. If you're not careful, you're going to look at that and say, well, they use that language. I'm going to put that in my own emails. If you take a step back and you read the entire email, you realize that whatever it is that I wrote, it's not placed there as an afterthought. It's not just stuck in to be persuasive language. Instead, it naturally flows. It's simply part of my conversation, and I use persuasive closing language in my own conversation. If you ask me a question, I'd finish telling you an answer to that question. Then there's a good possibility I'm going to ask you, does that make sense? Or, did I answer your question? Obviously, you could say that I'm using closing language. Yeah, you could say that. What that closing language is looking for is that the information I've just shared is impacting you. I want to know that I'm answering your question and that sort of thing. If I was on a phone call with someone and I was enrolling them in my coaching program, I might ask them, is what we just talked about what you're looking for? We could look at that question and dissect it and say, oh, they're using some kind of high-tech closing line. But you could also just take it for what it is. I just want a yes or no answer. If all we've talked about is not a good fit for you, let's get off the phone. I don't want to waste my time anymore. You don't want to waste your time anymore. If it's a good fit, then my next question might be, do you want to get started today? It's amazing how many sales books use that line. For example, that's in chapter 13, the closing chapter. There's an entire chapter on this in sales textbooks. And yet, to me, it's no more advanced than two 5-year-olds that meet each other in the park. Mom lets them go out to go play, and they both find each other in the playground, and one of them looks at the other one and says, hey, I have this soccer ball with me today. Would you like to play ball? Really, a 5-year-old does this. Yes, I've read chapter 13 in the expert's closing manual, but our 5-year-old friend will look at another boy and say, do you want to play ball with me? If the other boy says no, what's he going to do? Then he'll say, okay, do you want to play cops and robbers? 5-year-olds will do this. I've said all of that just to say this. When we're writing our email campaign, we can allow this language to flow naturally, this conversation to naturally come through. We throw away all of our sales language. Some of the language we've already learned how to use because when we were kids, we were asking someone if they'd like to play ball or not. I hope you found the information in this video to be very helpful. If you're interested in learning more about email marketing, click on the link below to get our proven formula for writing a powerful 90-day email campaign. You'll also discover the 3 keys you must have in place to write emails that people really want to read. Go ahead and click below now.